A new report from the United Nations has just come out with some very alarming predictions about our food future. It says that climate change is threatening to wipe out many of the crops and livestock breeds that we rely on for food. It also says that climate change is likely to push more than 100 million people into hunger and poverty by 2030. The Young City Farmer is an agricultural journalist, and I make videos about the environment and climate change. So let me explain what's going on and why this report should be a wake-up call for all of us. The report was put together by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. That's the same organization that recently released a report about the state of the global climate. This report specifically looked at how climate change is affecting the food we eat and the systems that produce it. It paints a bleak picture of our food future. For example, there are lots of varieties of rice, wheat, and maize that could go extinct in the next few decades due to climate change. And that is a big problem because these are staple foods for more than half of the world's population. The report also says that some breeds of livestock are at risk of disappearing, such as the sheep that are found in the mountains of Ethiopia and the pigs that are resistant to African swine fever. But perhaps even more worrying is that the report predicts that by 2030, the number of people facing severe food insecurity could increase by at least 20%. And these people won't just be in developing countries. The report predicts that even in wealthy nations like the US, Canada, and Europe, the number of people who are insecure about their access to food will increase. And that's on top of the 20 or 30% of people who are already struggling to access the food they need. This isn't just about not having enough food in the world. It's also about having enough nutritious food. The report notes that climate change is likely to reduce the nutritional quality of some foods. For example, common bean yields are predicted to drop by up to 30%, which will have impacts on the protein and fiber that they provide. And some varieties of rice and wheat that are grown in places with high levels of arsenic contamination are likely to become more widespread. And that is a big problem because eating too much arsenic can lead to cancer and other health problems. So what can we do about this? The report's authors say that one of the best ways to prevent people from going hungry is to give smallholder farmers in developing countries access to the resources they need to adapt to climate change. This includes things like drought-resistant seeds, better irrigation, and more effective ways to store and distribute food. The report also calls for changes to the way we farm in order to make it more sustainable and less polluting. And this is why the Young City Farmer is here to open up the problems, suggest and educate people on the needed agri-solutions to save the future of food. This is the Young City Farmer. Follow, like, subscribe, and share for more.